here in Antwerp. Beautiful city, beautiful people, beautiful shop just opened. Objekty, which is a Ukrainian shop, which is run by my very good friend, Oksana. Let's go inside. And so here we are inside the shop with Oksana Senyczak, who is the founder of the business. Oksana, this is a new shop for you, but actually the business is not new, is it? You've actually been trading for some years now.
Yes, so it's 5 years already. The store Objekty exists. The first place, well, in the beginning, I started with a pop-up, something to try how people reacted on Ukrainian home decor, in fact, because in the beginning it was only home decor. And in fact, why I started at all was because the idea was there, the wish was there, but I was always talking about a kind of a store, about something that I can sell here, that is made in Ukraine, something that I can show to Belgian customers, to show them more or something different than they are used to from the news. But the thing is that I was always talking about it, talking and talking. And my sister, in fact, Nadia, she was older than me and at that time, and she, I think just out of experience, she told me that you better start doing something instead of only talking about it, because there will come a day that you will regret that you only talked and didn't really start something with this idea. So somehow she pushed me, she helped me, convincing me that, come on, do something. Start somewhere, start with something, start small, don't think too big. And this helped me to develop the idea, make it a little bit more concrete, and start with this, as I told before, with these few small pop-ups. That was November 2018. So it was a good moment to start. We had Christmas coming. So people passed by to buy their gifts, and I had like positive response. And because I had a small space where I knew I could start something like a small store. Also, Igor, my husband, my brother, they both also helped to convince me. And in the end, in March 2019, I started with the Objekty store. It all went from looking via Instagram, trying to find some interesting brands in Ukraine. A few I knew already, because this also had, if I go back a few more years, then I had already some connections or friends, or I knew some people already in Ukraine that were making something, so crafters. I knew some crafters, and I read about other crafters, and I just saw what people are doing and making in Ukraine, and I thought I really want to show it here. So I had already a few contacts. I added a few more, and I started with maybe, 10, 15 brands, from ceramics to wood to carpets, and that developed from 10, 15 to more and more. To be honest, it was in the beginning not that easy. The first year was fine, and then from 2020 we had COVID, so that also had an impact on my small business, let's say. But yeah, somehow I struggled through this COVID time, and after COVID. From COVID, we went to the full-scale invasion. So the 5 years were somehow, on one hand, I feel that I learned a lot myself. It were 5 years where, I met more wonderful people in Ukraine, but it were also 5 years difficult in the way that we had COVID. The full-scale invasion started. In January 2020, Nadia, my sister, died.
So, although the shop itself, as we say, is new, the Ukrainian community in Antwerp is very, very well established, isn't it? It goes back some generations. You yourself have, I believe you grew up in Antwerp. Tell me about your family and how they first came to be here in Belgium.
Yeah, so I didn't grow up I didn't grow up in Antwerp, but the Ukrainian community in Antwerp is quite strong, active. But myself, my parents, I was born in the eastern part of Belgium, the coal mine area. So they came to Belgium. They were living in DP camps after the Second World War in Germany. And from the DP camps, they came to work in the coal mines. And this is how they got the permission to stay in Belgium, to live in Belgium. So they had to work at least 2 years in the coal mines to get a residence permit. So they and many other Ukrainians came. It was quite a big immigration after the Second World War. So I was born in the eastern part of Belgium and came to Antwerp in '89 to study. And I stayed here. And after a while, I met some Ukrainian people. I got married to someone from Ukraine. My husband is from Ukraine. And we got kids and they grow up, and you want also to give them something, what my parents gave me, in fact, like the language, the traditions, the culture. I received it from home, and we somehow decided also to give it to our children. And we started to develop a community here. So I would say that the Ukrainian diaspora, the Ukrainian community in Antwerp is about, I think, 25 years old, more or less. So I think it's quite young, but the last 10 years also, I would say, since the Maidan revolution, this community is really active. And since the last 2 years, of course, since we have the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, it's even more active. There are many Ukrainians living in Antwerp. There is always something cultural going on. If it's not a concert, then it is an exhibition. Of course, it's all Ukraine related and war related as well, because we want also here to keep to remind Belgians, Antwerp people, about what is going on in Ukraine today, since this is still very important, and it's the war is not so often in the news anymore as it was 2 years ago. People are also getting sometimes maybe tired of listening to the news and hearing about the bombing. So it's good to show it sometimes in another way, like with a photo exhibition, a film, that kind of thing. So this is Antwerp life, Ukrainian Antwerp life, where I am also. My family is, my brother is. We are all part of this Ukrainian community, I would say.
And the Belgians have been very welcoming to Ukrainians since the invasion. So obviously the diaspora here has grown. And actually those Ukrainians who have come here have integrated very well. And this is a right time for them, isn't it? Because we're now preparing the ground for Ukraine's accession to the EU. And so those Ukrainians who found themselves here in Brussels, I think were lucky.
Yes. We have, of course, like, I don't know exactly how many Ukrainians now Antwerp has in total, but yeah, I think that Ukrainians are, of course, integrating very well because they have the same kind of mentality. A different culture, but the same kind of mentality. This helps, of course, to integrate. And this helps also Ukraine to, not only the people here to integrate in Belgium, but also later it will help, of course, to help to integrate Ukraine in the EU.
This process is actually going to be a lot more difficult than most Ukrainians realize, I have to say. There's maybe, because the goodwill towards Ukraine is such, I think that many business people, many politicians assume this is going to be very straightforward. We all know that doing business here in Belgium, for example, is slightly difficult because it's a very bureaucratic country. Sometimes I feel that the system is set up to stop people being entrepreneurial. It obviously hasn't stopped you. But I'm aware of the fact that you've actually been working with other people, with other Ukrainians, advising them on how to set up a business here. Tell me a little about this.
It's not that I really have that I have advised people how to start, but I know some entrepreneurs that started here in the last 2 years, and I always encourage them to do so. If there is something I can advise, I always will. I tell everybody that if you have questions, you can always ask. If I can help, I will help. I will advise. But there are some Ukrainians that arrived in Belgium like 2 years ago, and they started already their own business. I think it's really wonderful. It's to see how they just do. And I think even this is also a reason why they do it so easily, is because they don't know what to expect. So maybe they think it's as easy as it is in Ukraine sometimes to start a one-man's business, to start a small company. But in the end, it is not so easy in Belgium. It's true, because of all these bureaucratic questions, matters. But because they, in fact, don't know, they didn't grow up here, they don't know all the details, they just think we start. Later, of course, they bump on like maybe some difficulties, but on the other hand, they are already, like, the train is already on its way, so they just continue doing what they are doing. But I think they are doing very well. The people that came and started something for their own and on their own, they are doing more or less well.
What I want to do is I want you to show me around the shop. It's like a little Aladdin's cave here, full of treasure. And I know that you work very closely with a lot of the suppliers. You know them. And so we can have a look. But first of all, what I'd like you to do is just tell everybody the address of the shop, the full address. And what will happen by magic, as you're speaking the words, they will appear on the screen just below us. It's great.
Yeah. Okay. So you will find Objekty, a store of Ukrainian contemporary design in Antwerp, in the Anselmostraat 13. So you're welcome to visit. I will be very, very happy to see you here.
Okay, let's take a little look around. Okay, Oksana, let's take a look over here. These wonderful ceramics. In fact, I'm starting to get an appetite just looking at this.
So the some of these things that we see here, some of the makers of these things, I've been working with them already for 5 years, like Quiet Form from Kyiv. I work with them from the very beginning. It's a very nice product, I would say. It's very nice people also to work with. Anyway, this is also, I think, important. What else do we have? The wooden boards here and this start plate, they are from Sume. It's not so long ago I started to work with them. I met a girl personally. She was in Belgium at the time, and she approached me, and she told me the whole story of the company, because Sume is in the eastern part of Ukraine. It's not so far from the Russian border, and her boyfriend and the father of her boyfriend, they went all they went to the front line, of course, to defend Ukraine. And in the company, there were only a few women left, and they had to start running the whole business. And somehow they are doing well. It's very difficult because they have this electricity, blackouts and everything. And many men that worked in the company before and are now soldiers, Ukrainian defenders, they are not in the company. They can't help. So these women have to somehow take care of all the production, but nevertheless they continue working. And even yesterday I talked to Yaroslava, and she said that she doesn't know how long she can be and keep strong and cope with this whole very hard and difficult situation. And her voice was very, very bad. And for me, it's sometimes difficult to imagine in which conditions they work, but they do work. So they make tart plates, they make boards, they make a lot of beautiful things to keep on existing, to keep on the economy going, to keep on paying salaries, because people have to live anyway. And what's also very important in Ukraine is that many people from their salaries, they also donate. So even the whole system of donation, it's all linked together. You can't donate if you don't get a salary. And if there is no work to do, then there is no salary. So it's very important to keep on working. So it's also important for us to keep on ordering. It's only a small business, but I know that in The Hague there is also a beautiful furniture store that is also selling Ukrainian brands. And if we are many of these kinds of stores everywhere, then we can order a lot. So I'm only a drop, as they say. In all we do, we are only a drop. But if there are many drops, we have an ocean. And this is what we have to keep on doing.
And you also sell furniture?
I also sell furniture. This is my brother. My brother is responsible for the wooden store furniture. Okay. So this is all specially made. Really, he's a carpenter, and it is a family business. It is everyone is doing his parts. My husband is, my brother is really doing a lot. He's I can always ask some advice. Together, we always find how to somehow make it look good in the store. Yeah, so this is not for sale. It's just there to show everything. But here on the other side, you see this blue bench. This is from a young brand Kind, working with different Ukrainian designers. For me, it's new. Well, I know the brand like maybe for, yeah, a bit more than half a year. And I saw this furniture on Maison et Objets in January in Paris. Well, and I immediately fell in love with it. So this is why it's here now. And the reactions, the response of Belgian customers is very positive. Very positive. They like it really very much.
I was going to ask about your customers, the client base. I'm sure you get many Ukrainians here, but yeah, Belgians. I was going to ask how you've been received, and I think you've already answered the question.
Yeah, I answered the question, but I can tell you a little bit more. The first thing, what I want to say is that I started with Objekty to reach the Belgian customer. Mm-hmm. That was my goal. As I said, to bring something, to show something beautiful from Ukraine and about Ukraine, something beautiful and different than people read in the newspaper. Yeah, because we had Chernobyl once upon a time in 86. We had already the elections with the Yushchenko. Then we also were already in Brussels gathering to demonstrate. Then we had the Maidan revolution. Now we have the war, the full-scale war. So I wanted to like I said before, to shine a light on Ukraine. And so my main goal was to reach the Belgian customer. And I think I succeeded because 90% until 2 years ago were Belgian customers that came to my store. In the last 2 years, this has changed a little bit. I get more Ukrainian customers because many of them are living in Belgium and Antwerp now. Also, many of them know the brands from the time they were living in Ukraine, and they are very happy they can find them here. So this is this is also nice that I get some Ukrainian customers that especially come to the store, because this I like very well. I like very much that, yes, Belgian customers, great, because that was my goal. But I'm very happy with Ukrainian customers because that means for me as well that they are, what is the English word? That they are, for them it's also important to buy something Ukrainian.
Oh, of course.
The fact that they come means it is important for them. Because it's not like a store that you find on each corner. If you live on the other side of Antwerp, you have to come specially to Objekty, especially to this store, to buy something made in Ukraine. And people are doing this. So Ukrainians are coming to buy their gifts or something for themselves here in this store. And this is very good. This is good because they know the importance of supporting Ukraine. And yeah, this makes me happy.
There are one or two Ukrainian shops, like grocery shops, like little supermarkets. I'm aware of at least one in Antwerp and a small number in Brussels. So do you think that we're going to see more entrepreneurs such as yourself moving into different areas away from the traditional corner shop uh, into culture, to furniture, to jewelry? You sell jewelry. Um, this is really it's impossible to say something positive about a war, of course, but this crisis, as crises often do, has encouraged people to think differently, to behave differently, and to move forward, get things done. Do you think we're going to see a real sort of growth in Ukrainian businesses in the city?
Well, first, yes, I want to start my reply with what you said before, that this is like we have this war, and call it positive. It's very difficult to call something that is a result from the war positive. But on the other hand, it is true. People know more about the country. People also have this feeling that maybe they want to learn more about the country. They are more interested. So we really have to grab this opportunity. We have to take this opportunity of, unfortunately, of the war, but to take the opportunity to spread this positive news about this country. And the more people will be interested, the more we will see, I think, other entrepreneurs that start their business. Or maybe it is the opposite. The more Ukrainian businesses you will see and find, the more interested people will get and know more about Ukraine. I think it's more that way. I think something to eat would be also good if we would see that more, if we saw that more often. We don't have really restaurants or cafes.
I was just about to say restaurants is something that's missing.
In Antwerp, and that's really missing. That would be very, very good. We have, of course, the Ukrainian cafe working each Sunday, but this is a pure like a beneficial, how you say, like it's they just sell food to get money for the Ukrainian defenders. But it's one day a week, but still you can go and have some good vareniki to eat. This is really missing, and that would be good.
One thing that I particularly like about the shop, as well as the products that you have here, it's got a nice feel to it. It's spacious, it's airy, but you've got a bar, haven't you? On that note, let's go and have a look at the bar.
Okay.
So, Oksana, here we are. There you do indeed have a bar with wines, with coffees, which I'm just about to check. Excellent, excellent. Now, I know you've got some plans for this bar. You're going to be getting Ukrainian wines. Not many people are familiar with Ukrainian wine, although actually in Belgium, I think that certainly the white wines have been available through some of the supermarkets for the last 10 years or so. But I haven't actually seen any Ukrainian sparkling wines. I haven't seen any Ukrainian red wines. I haven't seen much in the way of Ukrainian beer, although you can find it if you know where to look. So how do you see this progressing? Do you see the cafe becoming an entity in itself, something that will attract people as well as the shop?
Of course, I want to attract people with the cafe, but the main part is, of course, the store. That is the main part. So the cafe is just like an addition to it. But I also wanted to develop. I want the coffee to be good. Of the coffee is of good quality, but of course, it needs to be made good. So this is really something I want to keep on working on it. The wines, yes, I would like in the end to have a few nice Ukrainian wines. I'm still checking a little bit the market. It's not so easy to find it here. Maybe something from beer as well, and some sweets. Also to have it with a coffee, like Ukrainian cheesecake, and these kind of things that are especially Ukrainian, like especially Ukrainian desserts, let's say. Yeah, this is, yeah, we also have a very nice terrace. So I hope that in summertime we will have more visitors. Also, the cafe, like the terrace, has furniture where you can sit on, is also possible to order, to buy it for yourself. So it's a combination. You have, on one hand, you need the furniture for your terrace, but on the other hand, the furniture that I have on my terrace is also made in Ukraine, so you can also order it in another color or the same color. So it's store, it's cafe, it's a little bit all together. I think we will also do sometimes small exhibitions, maybe some kind of talking moments, more often I think on Ukrainian topics, but maybe sometimes not. Do something about Ukrainian culture, about vyshyvanka. Yeah, do some special days around Ukrainian culture and Ukrainian history, maybe to Christmas somewhere, that we also maybe invite people to talk about the traditions. Yeah, these kind of things that are connected to Ukraine, to Ukrainian culture. And this is why the cafe can be a nice space. So on one hand, you have the store, you are in a nice setting with, I say beautiful things because it's my store. I like what I have in my store. You can create like a relaxed atmosphere, have something to drink, and then connect it with topics related to Ukraine. That can go from politics or from to journalism even, because in end of August we plan an evening with with a Belgian Flemish journalist from Brussels. He is originally who is reporting in Ukraine.
Okay.
And he left I think today now again for 1 month to Ukraine, and he will be here July, August. But we decided to do it the second half of August. We will do it here. We cannot have that much people in this place, but okay, then I prefer to have less and to have it in a nice atmosphere, in a nice setting. So we will use also this space for other kinds of small events, all connected to Ukraine.
And I suspect it's going to be a great success.
I hope so.
I can see everything
I
that you
hope
put
so.
into this venture. It looks
I hope so.
fantastic, and
Thank you.
it's going to be great.
Thank
We're just gonna run the address down below one more time, and now what we're going to have is we're going to have the opening hours, and here they come.
Yes, the opening hours. We are here from Tuesday till Saturday, from 10 till 6 in the evening. So only Sunday and Monday we take a rest, and the rest of the week we are here.
Oksana.